I wanted to get engaged with a large group of gastroenterologists, and particularly on issues such as advocacy, where we can all come together and talk about policy and issues that are affecting our patients and our profession every day. So the great thing about advocacy is that you can really spend as much or as little time as you want on it. My favorite way to get involved with advocacy is through the AGA's website, and through the Call to Action Center, you can just put in your name and your zip code, and they automatically figure out who your representatives are. Then you can choose on a variety of issues, whether it's colon cancer screening or NIH funding. And a templated letter to your representative will pop up. You can feel free to edit it as you'd like. And with just a few simple clicks, that letter is sent to your representative. I really enjoy that because within a few weeks, I always hear back from my congressional office about what their stance is on that issue. So I really feel like I've started a relationship with my representative just using a simple platform through the AGA. And it really takes less than 5 minutes. I wrote an article that appeared in the Philadelphia Inquirer about a patient that I had taken care of who ended up with a huge bill after a screening colonoscopy. That happened because we removed a polyp, and because of cost-sharing issues for Medicare beneficiaries, he got a very unexpectedly large bill. After that article was published, it was great to hear feedback. First, I heard feedback from gastroenterologists throughout the country about very similar experiences that they had gone through, and that some of them knew about the bill, but some of them didn't. And they were now inspired to take action now that we knew that there was a specific bill that would help address that issue. The second thing that was really great for me was that I had patients reach out to me. Philadelphia and Pennsylvania residents sent me letters and emails about similar situations that had happened to them, and how they were really grateful that doctors were aware of this issue and were trying to do something to fix it in Congress. Both of those impacts were really meaningful to me, and it taught me the value of writing about policy issues and patient care issues in a more public forum. When I first got engaged with advocacy, I was pretty nervous meeting with my representative, honestly. I felt like, what was I going to tell them about policy that they didn't already know? What I realized was that as a medical expert, I actually had a lot to bring to the table. I could talk about what patients were going through who are their constituents, and they really cared about that. And although the policy details, there were experts, including AGA PAC staff, who could fill in the details, the important aspects relating to patient care and some of the barriers that our patients face and we face when we try to deliver care to our patients were really important to our representatives. And now I've realized that it's really great to meet with them in order to share those experiences. One of my favorite experiences getting involved with the American Gastroenterological Association was when we had the opportunity to host my representative, Dwight Evans, at the University of Pennsylvania. This was something I was really excited about because I wanted to show many of my colleagues how great it can be to talk about policy and patient care with a representative. But I honestly didn't know exactly how to go about doing it. And what I found was that AGA PAC staff was so helpful in setting up the visit and providing us with talking points and materials to give to the representative when he arrived. They even showed me how to do a tour of our institution, which was probably his favorite part. Then we had a question and answer session, and we talked about many issues that the AGA is advocating for, such as the Removing Barriers to Colorectal Cancer Screening Act. And there were many other issues that came up from people who had never really engaged in policy before, but were part of our GI division and, of course, cared about our patients. It was fantastic because the next day, Representative Dwight Evans contacted us and AGA staff to say that, they weren't aware of the colorectal cancer cost-sharing issue, but since we had brought it to their attention, they had signed on as a co-sponsor to the bill. That really felt like a victory for us. Additionally, his office was very responsive and kept in touch with liver transplant doctors on issues relating to organ allocation, or some of our microbiome doctors on issues relating to nutrition. And there were so many other doors and avenues that had opened just establishing that relationship with our representative. I really think it's important for us as gastroenterologists to step up and make sure our voices are heard and that we are fighting for our patients, because at the end of the day, if we're not doing it, there aren't really other people who will do it on our behalf. And unfortunately, there may even be people who don't always have the best interests of our patients at heart. So I find that it's really great to be able to have that opportunity to make our voices heard and make sure that our patients are being cared for when it comes to policy.